Garden of Eden is a story about you. Genesis is the start of your incarnation. It's about your fall from unity into duality. As a child, you were holistic. You expressed yourself freely without fear or shame, without suppressing parts of yourself to please society and fit in. You only took action on what was feeling right in your heart. You would never hurt, kill, or steal from anyone. You had no self-identity. You had no ego. You saw your parents as an extension of yourself. You were not separate. You were one with the world and nature. This is Eden, the true state of consciousness. As you grew older, you transformed, symbolized by the snake. The snake is a symbol of transformation because it sheds its skin. In early childhood, you saw the world through the right hemisphere of your brain. Holistically, Eve represents this feminine brain, right hemisphere. Eating the fruit symbolizes destruction. Eating is a destructive process. This represents a shift and a transform in Adam and Eve's consciousness, which is you. The left hemisphere of the brain rose in influence. It separates, analyzes, builds identity. This shift corresponds to Eve's encounter with the serpent and eating the apple. Adam and Eve then realize they are naked. Nakedness symbolizes self-identity. They become self-aware and conscious. As you grew older, you too became conscious. You formed an ego, aware of conditioning. You became aware of society and conditions. You start to suppress aspects of yourself to fit in. You start to wear this ego and this mask to encounter the world. This is when your consciousness becomes divided and you become aware of good and evil as you were unified before. This is the fall of every human that joins Earth. It's a psychological transformation that we all go through, from unity into a divided self of adulthood. The path now is to return back to Eden, which is even, back to unity, beyond the ego and transcend division, to rediscover unity consciousness.
3 things you need to know before you physically die. Number 1, you never die. You cannot escape the universe, which leads you with 2 choices in your life: the path of self-mastery or the path of living in chaos and ignorance. Both of them are difficult. You just have to choose which one. Number 2, imagination is your biggest power. The physical world is a dimension. The imagination is the dimension that sits just above the physical world. Look around you. Every object you see was imagined, pulled out of that imaginative astral plane, and then manifested into the physical plane. The physical plane is the effect. You have to gain a strong imagination in order to see in the astral plane. That is your spirit vision. Number 3, you cannot fulfill physical desires in the astral plane when you die, which means you cannot have sex, cigarettes, or anything you're addicted to in the physical world, such as your phone. In that plane, you will not be able to fulfill that desire, which means if you do not remove all of the external addictions and master yourself before you die, you will suffer in the astral plane because you cannot fulfill physical desires. This is why in spiritual traditions it teaches you must be reborn again. You have to sacrifice all the material things to walk the spiritual path of self-mastery to reach a higher state of consciousness. And to give you one more, you are always conscious in them planes, which means here in the physical world you can go asleep and go unconscious. In the astral plane you are conscious all the time for eternity, okay? Which means you have to gain control of yourself. If you have no control of your thought, emotion, and action, you will create horrible imaginations in that dimension of imagination. So you cannot just escape things in that dimension. You have to face your mind. You have to gain full control. You will be conscious all the time. It's okay. You don't have to believe me. I'm just simply giving you my research and direct knowledge with these planes in occult studies.
13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature: mental, emotional, etheric and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle, 4 gospels, the cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ, we are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories, and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself.
Reptilians do not exist. It is metaphorical for using the reptilian part of our brain. The 3 parts of the brain correspond with the 3 parts of the body. If you're operating your life out of your gut, you're in hell, which is the reptilian animal state. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. This is why he's green. Top half of the body is the higher self. The lower half of the body is the lower self. If you're operating your life out of these lower 3 centers, this is hell. Instead, you want to use the higher brain, the neocortex, where critical thinking and rationality takes place. This is why Neo from the Matrix is called Neo, because he awakens and uses his higher brain. The devil and the angel on your shoulder is an internal battle between your higher and lower self. The devil has goat horns, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is a higher animal, which represents the higher self. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the higher self and the lower self. Religion has externalized the truth so that you believe Jesus and Satan are outside of you. This is done so that you do not transmute all of the negative parts of yourself into positive and become the God.
Praying is spellcasting. When something goes wrong in your life and you start praying, you're using words to alchemically change your external world. This is a spell, but you are doing it wrong. When you talk, you're creating torus fields, an electromagnetic field, because magic is magnetism, influencing magnetic fields. And you do this every time you talk. However, when you pray from a place of negativity, from a place of suffering, you are sending negative energy out into the ether, and you will get more negative energy back. Instead, you want to pray from a high vibration and believe you already have something. Every word you say is molding and shaping your mind, and your mind is the root cause of your external world. And when people place their hands together to pray, they're actually balancing the 2 hemispheres of the brain, because they represent the hemispheres of the brain. If you want to protect your electromagnetic field around your body, this EMF technology necklace will help you. Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left, and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here, because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. Universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical. There is a hidden meaning behind this symbolism that astronauts do. Warning, this information is not for everyone and your mind might just be altered after watching this. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Your external world that you look into is actually truly internal. Light enters the eyes and it goes to the visual cortex at the back of the brain, and this is what produces the image that we see. Light is a form of wave. It is a light wave, and light waves carry information. This information is given to the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex creates the image. The information carried on the wave of light has an effect on your brain and then has an effect on the whole of your central nervous system and your cells. This is why you feel darkness within you when you see something very sensitive. Because what we see, hear and say has an effect on our whole central nervous system and our cells. So this is why you should never speak, see or hear no evil.
The fluids in your body are in a cycle, a rhythm with the moon, because the moon affects the liquids in your body. This is why women have a menstrual cycle, every month. So the full moon is a high energy. This is when the liquids in your body are being pulled the most by the celestial moon. Sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, emotion and intellect. So the emotion is being affected by the moon, which is our mood. So on a full moon, this is when the lunatics come out. When the moon enters the sign that you were born in, your sun sign, a sacred fluid is released from the brain down to the spine, and we must raise this up the 33 vertebrae of our spine to be crucified in the skull, Golgotha. The planets are not physical rocks, they are energies which influence the earth and our bodies, our consciousness. Astrology is so important, and this is why the ancients mapped the celestial constellations. This book has everything you need to know. The link is in my bio. The Book of Wisdom PDF or paperback. The Jordan River is your spine. The 7 lamps in the Bible are the 7 chakras. Your brain's the Garden of Eden. The pineal gland is the throne of God and the gateway to heaven. The Pope's staff represents the spine and the 2 kundalini channels and the pineal gland. Salvation is salt. The brain produces a salt, a fluid which goes down the spine, which you must resurrect through your erectional energy back to the head, which is resh in Hebrew for head. By following the word of God, following your inner guide, you save your salt and you raise it. Once you do this, you then have the key into the kingdom of heavens, the realms beyond the physical, to access the dimensions within your mind. Also the Holy Grail, or the power symbol. In the Vatican, you have the pine cone, and this is the head. Is the Pope holding the pine cone. We are all God. There is no God outside of you. Everything is God. All religions were made to make you look outside yourself so that you can become powerless. All religions are corporations. It's all a scam to keep you asleep. Freemasons wear the M symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is the mother. This is why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter. Once you're made into matter, she delivers the male. Women hold a stargate within them. Everyone in this world has come through the mother into matter. This is why the female is so important. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0's the woman, the 1's the male. The male is the master over the physical world. This is why he is strong. The female is the master of the spiritual world. This is why she is very intuitive and sensitive to energy. The male is electric. This is a penetrating force. Female is magnetic. She attracts. Electric and magnetic, electromagnetism. If you understand electromagnetism, you understand everything. Everything is electromagnetic. It is the real atom. The number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. They used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. Bless is be less. Be less you. When something is really good, we say that is sick. Another word for good is wicked. That's wicked. The English language is full of hidden spells. This is why we call it spelling. Because every word you say is creating torus fields, which is energy and frequency. Frequency is the only thing that can penetrate your body without your consent. You can choose what you put into your body, but you cannot choose what you hear. Every frequency you listen to and produce has an effect on your cells and electromagnetic field. And when this field becomes destroyed, your body becomes destroyed. Because energy and frequency comes before physical matter. It is the creator of physical matter. English is the most spoken language in the world. They want everyone to speak it because it's filled with double meaning words which cast hidden spells. Mourning is the feeling you feel when someone has died. Why do you think the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue? Illnesses exist on a low frequency. When we consume low vibrational foods, we lower our frequency to match the illnesses. If you have something wrong with your body, it's more than likely that you have an acidic-based environment. Bacteria can thrive in an acidic-based environment. We need to raise our frequency and turn to the alkaline environment in order to heal our body. If I have anything wrong with my body, I'll do 2 weeks with one fruit to cleanse the digestive system. Then I'll go on a fast, only consuming water and herbal teas. When your digestive system is inactive, the energy used to digest food can be used to heal the body. Mother Nature provides you with everything to survive and thrive, and the king knows this. Veganism rearranged is saving me, because when you consume meat, you are consuming adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is the blood from a petrified, slaughtered being. It contains fear hormones. Stop wearing glasses. The longer you wear glasses and cover up your eyes, the thicker your glass gets, because your eyes become worse. Your brain will adapt to the new thickness of the lens, and the eye will start to work less. Your eyes are muscles. You need to train them to become stronger. You're blocking the sun's rays from getting into the eyes. Whatever is in your visual field goes into the brain, and then the brain will then affect the central nervous system. So whatever you see is having an effect on your whole body. This is why they don't want you looking at the sun anymore, because the sun's rays can actually heal the eyes and heal the body. This is why they promote sunglasses, because sunglasses block the sun from entering into your eyes and awakening your pineal gland and stimulating the body's electrical nervous system. So when you watch the solar eclipse tomorrow, you don't need to wear glasses, just watch it with your eyes. The fluids in your body are in a cycle, a rhythm with the moon, because the moon affects the liquids in your body. This is why women have a menstrual cycle, every month. So the full moon is a high energy. This is when the liquids in your body are being pulled the most by the celestial moon. Sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, emotion and intellect. So the emotion is being affected by the moon, which is our mood. So on a full moon, this is when the lunatics come out. When the moon enters the sign that you were born in, your sun sign, a sacred fluid is released from the brain down to the spine, and we must raise this up the 33 vertebrae of our spine to be crucified in the skull, Golgotha. The planets are not physical rocks, they are energies which influence the earth and our bodies, our consciousness. Astrology is so important, and this is why the ancients mapped the celestial constellations. This book has everything you need to know. The link is in my bio. The Book of Wisdom PDF or paperback. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom. Turmeric is unhealthy, so is lemon and carrot. These foods were not created by nature. They were created in labs, genetically modified. None of these foods were here on the day of creation, which means they are unnatural to your body. Your body does not know what to do with them. Potato, Matoki, and big bananas all contain starch. This will thicken the blood and cause clogs within your digestive system. All the foods that were here in the beginning were all alkaline. Our body needs to be in an alkaline state. When we consume acidic foods, this is when parasites and diseases can thrive. Once you move to the alkaline diet, you will never go back. This human health guide will tell you everything you need to know and everything you need to avoid to maintain opening up new neural pathways and activating 100% of the dormant brain cells. Here's the Olympic torch, here's the spinal column and the sacred river, the Jordan River. It's all symbolism for our spines. Queen's ceremony also represented this Kundalini process of activating the pineal gland. Standing on the red carpet, which is the root chakra, the red chakra, which activates the 3 strands, which represents the Ida, the Pingala nerves and the spine. The light appears up the spine, which then goes to the tree, which represents the brain, illuminating the brain. And this is where we get the word enlightenment, light in the mind. This process then gives you the armor of God in the Bible, which is gaining a strong electromagnetic field, protecting you from the influence of negative energy. Television is tele-vision. You turn on the television, you get programs. They reprogram your subconscious mind, which manifests 90% of your daily basis behavior and thought patterns. This is the hidden part of the mind, which manifests your heart to beat without you being conscious of it. Broadcasting is casting spells to a broad audience. North, east, west and south, news. Your devices, the devil's vice, are black mirrors, which were black obsidian mirrors which were used to communicate with the astral plane. Your life is a direct manifestation of your mind. This is why you need to take care of what you see, say and hear. Government. Ment means mind. Govern the mind. Pineapple is man-made, acidic. Pears are alkaline. Apples, alkaline. Do not use the shiny ones, they are waxed. Instead, use the non-shiny. Seeded dates are alkaline. Big bananas are man-made, full of starch, acidic. If the oranges have seeds, alkaline. Cherries are alkaline. Strawberries, alkaline. Dragon fruit, acidic, man-made. Pomegranate is harmful, it's acidic, it's man-made. Seedless watermelons, acidic, man-made. Figs, alkaline. Papaya, alkaline. Bell peppers, alkaline. Garlic is toxic, acidic. Lettuce, acidic. Cucumber, alkaline. Tomatoes, alkaline, very high in iron. Gain the ability to shop with precision for products and foods that are beneficial for the human body. This human health guide grants you a key to revitalize your body and bring about the feeling of happiness and well-being. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an out-of-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing. You need to understand the simulation. Everything you feel is not real, and everything you see is an illusion. Everything you're experiencing is a simulation produced by your nervous system. This laptop is not solid, it's just a bunch of atoms placed together. And the reason my finger doesn't go through the laptop is the electrical fields of the atoms in the laptop are repelling the electrical fields in my finger. What you feel when touching something is your nervous system decoding the electrical waves that you've come into contact with. You're not feeling the external world. You're feeling electrical impulses decoded by your brain. They'll never tell you this, but your brain is an energy decelerator. Everything outside of you is energy. What you see is your brain slowing down this energy outside of you into a visual image that you can perceive. Everything outside of you is fake. The only thing that is real is your consciousness. Material world trick, matrix. Hindus call this Maya, the illusion of the world. Kabbalists call the world the veil that hides your soul. And the reason why the world's so lost and depressed today, because we're looking for ourselves in the outer world. None of the short-term pleasures that the material world offers can ever satisfy your soul. True happiness comes from within. Stop seeking validation in your outer reality. Go within yourself and find happiness within. The solution to the world is meditation. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. This is the ancient Sumerians. A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Even ancient Christians are seen with the same symbolism. We even see this on the tarot card as well.
The lion is Leo, the man is Aquarius, the eagle an old symbol for Scorpio, and the bull is Taurus. In esoteric teachings, they teach you that you have 4 bodies, not one. You have a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and a mental body. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. Aquarius is an air sign, which is the mind. These ancient creatures were not real, they're symbolic, and they're showing you the 4 bodies of the soul. Our soul is incarnated into these 4 separate bodies. Hence why Jesus has the 4 Gospels. This mythical creature is not a mythical creature, but a symbol of your soul. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body. The bull, the ox, the man, and the lion. All in one creature, which is the soul incarnated into the 4 bodies. This is why the earth symbol is a cross and with the 4 sections and a circle. I think this is going to change how we see ancient civilizations. They knew the sacred science of the soul. Ever wondered why your middle finger's considered swearing? There's a hidden element that they've hid from you called ether. 5 points on the body, 5 elements. 5 fingers, 5 elements. They demonized your middle finger because it's ether. But what exactly is the ether? Ether is like the blueprint to all physical creation. They covered up the ether by calling it dark matter. It's where all energy comes from and returns back to. Think of it as an eternal water of life feeding everything with energy. Yes, the ether can provide free 0-point energy, but that is not the biggest secret. The biggest secret about the ether is that our minds can manifest whatever we project into it into a reality. This is what the Matrix is showing you with these codes. You can change the codes to reality by changing your inner consciousness. The ether acts as a barrier from the imagination plane, astral, into the physical plane. Just look at the words that we use. Together. Ether. There's so much more that goes into this. Make sure to follow me. I found some secret codes in the Bible. The Bible contains numerology, and in Revelation 14, it states 144,000 will go to heaven. 144 adds up to 9. The 9th letter in the English alphabet is I. God's name Yahweh means I am. This is our body. I is our consciousness. 9 is the number of consciousness. Let's take it deeper. A lamb standing on Mount Zion. Lamb represents Aries. Aries rules the head, and this is the lamb horns in our brain. Holy Mount Zion is our spine. The lamb is on top of Mount Zion with the 144,000, which is 9, which is consciousness. And they had the Father's name written on their forehead. Our forehead is where our consciousness is. 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth represent the ones who found their consciousness. 144,000 sang a new song. New song is a new state of awakened consciousness. Sing a new song, awaken to your consciousness, not your body. Heaven is a state of consciousness. This book will literally tell you everything. Adam and Eve is a sexual story. When we are born, we have a pure consciousness, and we have no ability to reproduce life. As we grow older, we gain the power of creation. Our sexual energy is activated and turning us into an adult. We gain the ability to produce life, and this sacred power can be misused, as it is a sacred force within you. Eve is feminine, she's the emotion. Adam is masculine, he's the action. The serpent is the deceiving sexual urge. This is a symbolic story of how we lose pure consciousness and we gain the consciousness of good and evil. Our consciousness splits into the ego and the shadow, into the higher and the lower self. But this is not bad. It's a natural cycle of human consciousness. But we need to wake up from it and find our way back to the Garden of Eden. Don't lose yourself in material lust and material pleasures. They'll leave you feeling empty and unsatisfied. Instead, save your sexual energy, master your mind, and control your emotions. And don't let external things control your inner world. And that's how we find our way back to the Garden of Eden, reaching a pure state of consciousness, meanwhile knowing the knowledge of good and evil. The Bible is the greatest psychological text ever written. Today is a full moon, and this is why I don't eat or scroll on my phone on this day. The sun is our conscious mind. The moon is our subconscious mind. Just like the moon phases have these cycles, so does our consciousness. We go through mood swings and different emotions and thoughts all the time. If you didn't already know, your subconscious mind controls 90% of your daily basis thoughts and actions. The new moon is when your subconscious mind is mainly closed. However, a full moon is when the subconscious mind is more accessible during this phase. This is the best time to reprogram your subconscious and break your old habits. I don't do anything that is highly addictive on this specific day. Instead, I use my conscious mind to think, feel, and imagine my specific reality that I want on this day. And this will impress this reality on my subconscious. And my subconscious will start to believe I've already got the reality, which will then create effect in my external reality. This is why you always see witches with a full moon behind their head, because this is the best time to do a ritual of implanting new seeds into your consciousness so they can grow into a beautiful reality. And this is also the reason why you always get good ideas at nighttime, because the daytime is survival mode, it's conscious. The nighttime's our subconscious, imagination. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is gonna blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine, water is feminine. Masculine is intellect, feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine, symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness, truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within.